Welcome to The Debate. For thousands of years, we've called Achilles the greatest hero of the Trojan War. But if every swing of his sword was pre-programmed by the gods, is he a hero or just a weapon?
That is the big question. We are examining the foundational text of the Iliad today to determine the true driving force behind the tragedy at Troy. Is the bloodshed fueled by the pride and rage of mortal men, or are these heroes just pawns manipulated by the gods?
Right, and I am arguing that mortal flaws, specifically human wrath, honor, and rivalry, are what actually drive the story.
And I argue that divine intervention is the inescapable engine of the conflict. I mean, mortal agency is entirely secondary to the whims of Mount Olympus.
Well, let's look at the very first word of the poem to see where the focus is. It's menace, which means this specific world-breaking wrath. And whose wrath is it? It is Achilles.
Sure, he gets angry.
He gets way more than angry. The Greek commander, King Agamemnon, arrogantly strips Achilles of his war prize, Briseis. So Achilles gets his pride wounded and just withdraws his troops. That internal human rivalry dictates the plot and drives the Greeks to their darkest hours.
Okay, but you are completely ignoring the root of the conflict. Agamemnon and Achilles wouldn't even be on that beach if the gods hadn't orchestrated the war in the first place.
You mean the Golden Apple?
Exactly, the judgment of Paris. That entire decade of war is just the fallout of a divine bribe. Paris chose Aphrodite, and she handed him Helen. Without the gods constantly tipping the scales, the humans wouldn't be fighting.
Wait, let me make sure I'm following your logic here. Are you saying humans have zero choice in how they sustain the war?
I'm saying the gods are pulling the strings.
But even if the gods lit the match, humans keep the fire burning. If the gods are truly in control, why does the profound emotional climax revolve around human grief? Achilles returns to battle because his closest companion, Patroclus, is killed. Now, let me finish. His devastating sorrow pushes him to fight, and later to weep with the enemy Trojan king. The gods treat this like a spectator sport. True stakes require mortality.
But Patroclus' death wasn't just a battlefield casualty. It was literally a divine execution.
Oh, come on. Hector killed him.
Apollo struck Patroclus from behind first. He knocked off his armor and shattered his spear. Hector just finished the job. And as for humans keeping the fire burning, they actually tried to put it out.
When?
Provoke someone into breaking the truce. The humans wanted peace, but the gods demanded slaughter.
You are giving the gods way too much credit for human failures. Aphrodite didn't make Paris a coward. She just gave him an escape route. Humans still hold moral agency. Look at Hector.
Okay, let's look at Hector.
He is the most important player for the Trojans. At the end of the text, he consciously chooses to stay outside the walls of Troy to face Achilles. He ignores the desperate pleas of his parents. No god forced his feet to stay planted in the dirt.
Hector's choice doesn't prove human agency. It proves the inevitability of his fate. Zeus had literally already weighed his life on golden scales. The illusion of choice doesn't equal control.
It's not an illusion.
It absolutely is. I mean, have you considered the sheer scale of the divine violence? The gods eventually drop all pretense and physically enter the fray. Hera and Hephaestus use divine fire to boil a river god who tries to drown Achilles.
Yeah, that scene is wild.
Right? When the elements themselves are warring, human honor feels like a footnote.
It is definitely not a footnote when it dictates the entire trajectory of Western literature. Understanding these intense mortal choices is exactly why the Iliad is the vital foundation for the Odyssey.
I mean, if you want to bring the Odyssey into this...
I do. The surviving players, particularly the clever Greek strategist Odysseus, carry the heavy consequences of all this pride. You can't understand his chaotic 10-year journey home or his struggles with human hubris if you don't first understand the intense mortal rivalries forged on the beaches of Troy.
Well, Odysseus' journey just further proves my point. He spends 10 years getting tortured by Poseidon. It is just another mortal being punished by a divine grudge he can't control.
We clearly draw different conclusions. I maintain that the epic's enduring power comes from its exploration of human psychology, our rage, our honor, and our choices.
And I conclude that understanding the Trojan War is impossible without recognizing the absolute supremacy of divine whims over human lives.
Well, both perspectives show exactly why this constant unresolved tension makes the text a cornerstone of Western culture.
Yep, so we leave it up to you, the listeners, to return to the source material and decide for yourselves.
When you read Homer's lines, ask yourself, are you looking at a hero forging his own destiny, or just a pawn in a game played on Mount Olympus?